123.3 was well outside standard, 121.8.
Runners of the FWD Champions Mile.
1號馬金槍60
Number 1 Golden 60.
2號馬澳遊氣泡
Number 2 Voyage Bubble.
3號馬永遠美麗
Number 3 Beauty Eternal.
4號馬美麗同享
Number 4 Beauty Joy.
5號馬大燕重酬
Number 5 Obam Buramai.
6號馬勇大帝
Number 6 Brave Emperor.
7號馬轉彩
Number 7 Champagne Color.
8號馬奧提巴魯
Number 8 Elton Barrows.
9號馬標誌銀河
Number 9 Galaxy Patch.
10號馬鴻運帝王
Number 10 Red Lion.
11號馬神虎龍區
Number 11 Taj Dragon.
So hoping we can see the very best of him once again here today after that injury back in January. And it's great to see, of course, Vincent Ho. What about that combination? Never been apart in racing, 30 starts. He's comboed with them, the two of them together every single time, you know, when he's had an injury or, you know, Vincent's been off the scene, suspensions, everything like that. So it's been extraordinary too.
There just seems to be so much trust between them. Let's start with runners coming into the parade ring here. And we'll start, Jenny, with Beauty Joy, who another horse that Brenton Abdallah just seems to click with at the moment is Beauty Joy, winning the Chairman's Trophy over Beauty Eternal. They've tangled a few times. Everything needs to go right for him, but the track must bring him into calculation, surely.
Well, I think so, yes. He's going to enjoy that sort of going, and the horse actually is one of these horses that's really lightly framed. He's got a good, healthy-looking coat on him once again. He's always so quiet and relaxed here in the parade, so you would think that he would be a fairly easy ride, but it's not the case. He's got a very, very light mouth, this horse, but he goes well for Brenton Abdallah. He was able to win on him last time, and he looks good. He's come back out of that really well. He'll never carry condition, but he looks really well.
Jenny, there are very few horses in world horse racing that get a response when they walk into the parade ring. Golden 60 is being cheered round the paddock here. I don't know about you. I think he looks right up for the job. I mean, you've seen him pretty much every one of his 30 runs. What do you think? Yeah,
look, he's just about to head in my direction. And, of course, we've got a huge crowd in here. Everyone wants to get a glimpse of the champ. And I'll just watch him from head on as he heads down towards me now. He seems to be walking out nicely. He's got a beautiful shine to his coat. He's actually put on a few pounds. He looks good for it. Yeah, nothing wrong with his action. He's nice and alert. He's behaving himself well. He can get a bit stirred up late in the parade on occasions, but at the moment he's relaxed and he's good. He looks really well.
Vincent Ho just seems so relaxed about Golden 60's condition and what the task is ahead this afternoon. Voyage Bubble, we spoke about him before, Jenny. Nothing went right in Dubai, was locked away on the inside. Maybe got a few bumps and scrapes from that horse that came down just next to him, but he loves a mile here. He's a Derby winner. He's also a Stewards Cup winner.
Yeah, look, he's a stunning looking horse too, Voyage Bubble. He's a real eye catcher. He's got plenty of size, scope and strength. He walks out nice and freely. He obviously coming back from travelling is always a bit of a query, but he's still very fluent in his walking action. He's nice and alert. He can be versatile if asked. And he looks like they've got a little bit of filling in that off-front foot there, so perhaps they've had an issue there, but he's walking out well on it, so he's good.
Here's Beauty Eternal, two beauties in the race, both owned by the Kwok family, and Beauty Eternal and Beauty Joy have raced between them 8 times. Beauty Eternal has a 6-2 verdict at the moment, but today's conditions are probably more in the favour of Beauty Joy. Zach Purton gets a good tune out of Beauty Eternal, however, and a really good solid performer. Still waiting for that elusive success at this level.
Yes, well, that's the issue. I think he might have just climbed his mountain. He's been a very good money spinner for his connections, but he's just struggling a little bit to win at this level. He can lay in on occasions under pressure too. He showed a lot as a young horse, and he's probably just got to where he is at the moment. But he looks good. He's nice and relaxed. He's very strong. He's about your average height. He walks out cleanly. There is nothing wrong with him. He's well.
I just wonder if he's better at 7 furlongs as well. Here's one of the international raiders, Jenny, Obam Burumai, who's been down to Sydney. Luckless in the Doncaster, was hemmed up in a lot of traffic there on a track that probably wasn't ideal, but the racer just passed him by when he finally got clear.
Look, a casual swish of the tail from this guy, but he's actually behaving himself well. He's not overly big, but he's healthy. He does look particularly fit, and his behaviour is quite good. He's sweating up just marginally behind, but I think fitness-wise, no issue whatsoever. So he'll need luck from gate 10, but he's fit.
Yeah, my issue with this horse, Obam Burumai, is just whether the ground's a bit soft and he gets too far back. Here's an interesting runner. Brave Emperor comes from the UK, but does most of his winning outside the UK. France, Germany, Italy, Qatar. The only place he's been beaten, I think, was Sweden. Here he comes to Hong Kong, a remarkable, redoubtable horse. I think Luke Morris, Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe winning jockey of a couple of years ago, will drive on from the gate here. A horse who loves soft ground.
Yeah, look, he's a really interesting runner, as you say there, Nick. And he's a horse that he's not overly tall, but he's obviously very talented as a 4-year-old to take all this travelling and perform like he has. He is looking nice and strong in the shoulder. He's very neatly put together. He's a little bit on the warm side, but he's not misbehaving, and he actually walks out really cleanly. So he doesn't look bad. I could leave him there with a place chance.
Champagne colour, Jenny, probably needs to lift a little bit on his last 3 runs for the Japanese.
I would suggest, yeah, he'd have to put in his personal best, wouldn't he? And he's been he hasn't been in form for a little bit. He's bandaged quite heavily on all 4 legs there, behaving himself okay. He's got a little bit of size, bit of scope. He does look very fit, so maybe that might help him.
I think this horse might be the best of the Japanese on raw ability, Elton Barrows. I just worry that the ground might have turned against him, Jenny. I'm interested with the gear change. Blinker with just the one cup.
Well, that was a cheer for, if you heard it on air, that when Vincent jumped on board Golden 60, the crowd just acknowledging the champ there. Now, back to Elton Barrows. He's just held up in the lineup here, so hopefully he's going to behave himself. A lot of noise going on here, so it's going to stir up a few of them, and it'll probably stir up the champ too, but it's stirring up a number of these. Elton Barrows getting fired up. He's strong. He's really healthy looking, and he's in pretty good nick. He's bandaged in front, very strong-bodied horse. So, yes, I could leave him there with a place chance. I'd like to see him settle back down.
One horse that has fired up with the crowd reactions, Jenny, is this horse, Galaxy Patch, in the market at 4.2, 1.4. We haven't totally got to the bottom of it. What is his best trip? He's been over 1,000, 12, 14, up to 2,000 metres.
That is an unfair question, because I just don't know what his right trip is. He's a very talented racehorse, though. Now, he did get stirred up. He is a 4-year-old. He's a very tall, sort of lengthy type of horse. He's starting to sweat up a touch behind. He could not be any fitter. He never carries much excess condition anyway. But he walks out nice and freely, and he gets over a big amount of ground when he gallops. He's got a huge stride on him. He does look good.
Here's Red Lion, number 10, John Size and Hugh Bowman. Good day for Hugh Bowman already. I like this horse, and I don't have too many ground concerns either. I think he's just going to run a solid race today. Whether he's quite up to winning, I'd have my doubts, Jenny. But he looks well, he looks up for it, and he's got Bowman.
Yeah, look, he's as healthy as he could possibly be. He's got really good hind quarters on him. He's not an overly big horse, and he's not a scopy type, but he will love these conditions. And I think that's as good as I've seen him present. So I'm not going to be shocked if he runs a really good race here. He's a pretty honest type of racehorse too.
He's 39 to 1 at the moment, is Red Lion. He's had a barrier trial since. And Taj Dragon, Jenny Pierrong and Andrea Razzini. He's got an international rating of 110, but his best races here in Hong Kong have come at the 7 furlongs.
That is true. Now, he is walking out really freely, and he's not fussed by all the noise that was going on here in the parade. He's a horse that never carries much excess condition, so he does look fit. He's not light, he's just fit, and he's fluent, and he's sensible, so he actually parades well.
Okay, the best turned out horse there by those that judge that, Beauty Eternal. So well done to the Mafu and the connections involved there. Let's head over to Nick Child. He's standing by with the trainer of the Brave Emperor. It is Archie Watson.
Yes, thanks very much, Tom. Now, the racing world has become such a smaller place. You need horses that can travel around the globe, and one man that's got one is Archie Watson in Brave Emperor. Archie, superb horse he's been for you and the team, this guy.
He's been fantastic. Yeah, he takes all of his away trips really well. He's won in France, Germany, Italy, England and Qatar, and now it's fantastic to be here on a day like this with him.
It certainly won't be lost on you, of course, the enormity of a day like this, and you're taking on one of the very best, so you haven't made it easy on yourself, but how happy are you with your horse?
Oh, I'm delighted with him, yeah. Like I say, he takes it very well. He's been real fresh and well and bouncing this week. You know, the rain, we came out here knowing that we'd be all right on a quick track having won in Qatar, but actually the rain should hopefully play into our favour if it slows some of the others down, because he won on a heavy track in Italy and he's seen plenty of cut in the ground before, yeah.
And I guess with that in mind, obviously it's a bit uncharacteristic. We've had so much rain this week. You're hoping that that is what could be the factor that would bring out the best in him to hopefully, you know, outrun his odds potentially.
I hope so, yeah, for sure. Look, he has gate speed and he races away handy. They don't really seem to be finishing off that well today. I guess the only issue will be if a fair few horses try and ride themselves a bit more handy than they would otherwise, and it gets a bit congested up front. But if he can get a nice trip away handy, I know that he'll keep battling away at the business end, yeah.
And what about the occasion, Archie? Obviously, Golden 60's a superstar. He's being cheered around the parade ring. You rarely see stuff like that. You know, they've got to be pretty special. So I imagine for you and your wife, Brodie, great to be here.
Oh, it's amazing. And, you know, it's great to be here for Golden 60's final race. And, you know, if we're not spoiling the party, I hope he wins impressively, yeah.
Well said, and best luck to you and your owners.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you to Archie Watson for joining us here on the coverage. Well, Jenny, that was some parade there. It had it all. Golden 60, Vincent Ho, a few celebrities around as well, but who made it into the top 4?
Well, I'm going to put him on top. I'm not going to go against the champ here. I think that's how, you know, that's as good as I've seen him, I've got to say. So hopefully this track's not going to play against him here. He looks fantastic. So number 1, Golden 60 on top for me. Number 2 has to go in as well. That's Voyage Bubble. He's such a cracking type and he looks fantastic. He's just all class. Next best, number 4, Beauty Joy. Now, I don't often put him in because he's such a lightly framed horse, but his coat's absolutely glowing. He looks better than he did last time when he was able to win, so he goes in. And I thought Red Lion looked a picture of health as well. He's only a little small type of horse. He carries a bit of weight around the midsection, but he's been quite honest and he will like a little bit of give in the ground, and that's as good as he can present. So I've gone 1, 2, 4 and 10.
We ought to talk about Galaxy Patch, Jenny, because clearly a horse of massive talent. You say tall, unfurnished, probably going to be better next year, and looks as though this might just be getting on top of him a little bit.
Well, when the crowd went a bit crazy there for Golden 60, he got really upset. But he did settle back down again. Hopefully it hasn't taken a toll on him. He's only a young horse and he's got so much talent, raw talent there. So we don't even know what his best distance is at this stage. He just could be one of these extremely versatile horses. But yeah, he just got a little fired up. I was going to put him in and I changed my mind.
Yeah, he had 2 Mafus on him and he was taking them for a walk around the yard at one point, was Galaxy Patch. Paul, quickly a market update with 1.4 the favourite.
Yeah, 1.4 for Golden 60, 7.6 Voyage Bubble. He's coming in all the time. 20 Beauty Eternal, 33 Beauty Joy. Obamburbai at 43, 36 Brave Emperor, Champagne Colour 87, Elton Barrows 86, 4.7 Galaxy Patch 38 Red Lion, and Taj Dragon 77.
Let's get to our race caller, Mark McNamara. Mark, a little bit of drizzle might be starting to fall again, and what's the atmosphere like out the front?
It was actually better around the back than it was out the front, Tom, when he comes out, when it's normally the other way around. He did get a bit of a cheer, Golden 60, but with the way that they carried on around the back, thought he'd come out here and the crowd would go absolutely bananas, but they were rather restrained. Hopefully they'll be just waiting for him to come out in about 4.5 minutes from now when he charges up the Sha Tin Straight and wins his 4th Champions Mile. He goes on top because he has to, because he's Golden 60 and he gets the job done. Voyage Bubble goes in for second. He didn't have much go his way in the Dubai Turf. That was 1,800. He comes back to the 1,600 metres here. He's had 6 goes at the trip for 3 wins, a second and a third. He is in for second. James McDonald and Ricky Yu they can buy. And of course, he did tangle with Romantic Warrior 2 starts ago here in the City Hong Kong Gold Cup over 2,000 metres. Galaxy Patch has to go in because he just has untapped potential no matter what the distance. And 5, Obamburamai wasn't beaten too far on that rain-affected track in the Doncaster, but worked really well on it here during the week. It was pouring. It had been pouring all morning, and he looked to get the job done well. Big race, International Rider 2 and Damien Lane in the saddle. 1, 2, 9 and 5, Paul, but the champ to win it again.
Yeah, look, we'll be all cheering from come down the straight, but at 1.4, I was looking for some value in this race, and Elton Barrows, I was really taken with his gallop earlier in the week. He's one of these Japanese that's arrived here. He's at 87 and 12, so he's a big each-way price. So if he runs second or third to the champ, I'll be more than happy, but I thought at that price he was worth a little each-way investment. The one, obviously, Golden 60, tough to beat. Voyage Bubble, this should suit him because he'll be right pace-orientated on the front. And then the 9, Galaxy Patch. Hopefully that hasn't stirred him up too much. 8, 1, 2, 9.
9, 2 and 5, 1, 9, 2 and 5. Golden 60 on top. The King to return again and to win his 4th Champions Mile. 9's in for second, Galaxy Patch. I don't mind the chances of Voyage Bubble as well. He's a quality miler here in Hong Kong. And I'm also going to stick in Obamburamai off the back of what he did at Royal Randwick last time out, despite not having a lot of luck. So 1, 9, 2 and 5. A recap of Nick's numbers will come up shortly. But Jenny, your paddock numbers.
With the 1 on top as well, that's Golden 60. No surprises there. Gee, looks well here today. He behaved himself really nicely too, even though the crowd was giving him a lot of sort of applause around the parade. So he's done a fantastic job to keep it all together. Next best is that horse on screen, number 2. I thought Voyage Bubble paraded particularly well once again. He always does, though. He's such a lovely horse. Next best, I thought the 4, that is Beauty Joy. He's come back really nicely since that last win. He'll never put on weight, this horse, and hopefully he's a good enough ride here for Brenton Avdulla. He knows him well after winning on him last time. He rode him perfectly. He didn't even throw the head about, so let's hope that happens again for him and we see the best of him. And I thought Red Lion paraded particularly well. Nice little horse. He looks so healthy. He's got really strong hindquarters, looked in good order. So I've gone that way. I've gone 1, 2, 4 and 10.
Golden 60 to do it again for me. Fairy tale stuff. What presence he showed around the paddock today. He just seems more impressive every time you look at him. Beauty Joy, I think, is a smashing little horse. Is he quite up to winning? I don't know, but I think he'll be placed again. Won't mind the ground, tactically adaptable. And I agree, Jenny, Voyage Bubble looks so chilled out. First run back here since going to Dubai. You can throw that race out, meant nothing. Back in distance, handy a posse. Best jockey in the world on board. Strong group of jockeys, admittedly, but you can't go too far wrong when you've got McDonald on your side. So I think Golden 60 will do it with Vincent, but McDonald and Purton to follow him home.
What's the play, Paul?
Well, I thought I'd do a test with the obvious ones we've all got in there, which is Golden 60, Voyage Bubble and Galaxy Patch, and just throw the roughie and the Elton Barrows. He's come in a bit. He's been back through the Quinellas, but he's at 78 and 10. I think he's the best of the Japanese, and you can't underestimate these Japanese. So a test around 1, 2, 8 and 9. Then we can all cheer the 1 if he does get to the front. The 1, 2, 8 and 9. But Beauty Joy, the one that Nick's put in there for second, there is place money for him. He's come into 3.2 a place. He's 29 a win still at this stage is Beauty Joy. Now there's Quinellas going for the 2, Voyage Bubble. He's into 7.1. Also the 8, which is Elton Barrows. So plenty through him as well. So they're the 2 that are being backed through the exotics. And also now some coming for Red Lion.
Brave Emperor, Nicky, he's been to so many different countries and performed so well. He'll handle rain. Is he tactically versatile?
He's an amazing horse, and a horse probably a lot of viewers in the UK either don't know or don't remember because he does so much of his racing overseas. You could argue he took his form to another level in Qatar. That wasn't a bad race at all. It was on a sounder surface, but when he won at Krefeld, not a track I'm that familiar with in Germany, I was talking to his owner Tom Palin earlier today. He said it was a bog. And he cantered through it absolutely fine. So I don't think we've got any issues with the conditions. And they've got to try and make something happen with Brave Emperor. They've got to try and do something. He's a genuine horse, yeah. But I think it just helped his focus, helped his application, and took him to another level.
And Nick, you were giving Beauty Joy a bit of a chance at odds, of course. He is odds. 28 to 1.
Great odds in the win market, in the place market, Jenny. Everybody knows this horse is just going to keep trying to the end, I guess. So all the place value's been squeezed out.
Last few runners are moving in for the second of our Group 1 races here on Champions Day at Sharton. This is the FWD Champions Mile. The favourite is Golden 60 at 1.4 and 1.1 for a place. He's looking to win this race for the 4th time mark, and Vincent Ho is looking to win it for the 5th.
He's indeed Tom, and the two heroes of Hong Kong racing in races 7 and 8. Golden 60 into Romantic Warrior. The champion to come forward, Beauty Eternal, about to make his way in. We wait for Red Line and Galaxy Patch, and also Beauty Joy, who's backed on a place line into 2.9. D, the local caller, has just revved the crowd up for the champ. There he is, drawn next to Voyage Bubble. He's in barrier 7, Golden 60. They're just about ready. There's one out. It's Galaxy Patch. The atmosphere, it grows. The FWD Champions Mile, they're ready. Golden 60, the favourite, they're racing. He was first out, Golden 60, and he jumped so well. Voyage Bubble to his inside. Red Line began well, as did Beauty Eternal, and came Taj Dragon. Next is Brave Emperor from Elton Barrows, and Galaxy Patch on the rail from O Bamburamai. Second last is Beauty Joy, and Champagne Colour is last of all. Beauty Eternal 3 off the rail leads. Golden 60's in the first 3. Voyage Bubbles down on the rail. Red Lion 4th, and then came Taj Dragon and Brave Emperor. 2 lengths to Elton Barrows from Galaxy Patch and O Bamburamai. Second last is Beauty Joy, and 2 lengths to Champagne Colour. It's Beauty Eternal leading, no speed on, and he's out by a length over Red Line. Voyage Bubbles running 3rd, Golden 60 has 1 out cover 4th. Then Taj Dragon, Brave Emperor follows the champ. Next is Galaxy Patch from Elton Barrows, O Bamburamai, Beauty Joy, and Champagne Colour is 3 lengths away last of all. It's a slowly run Champions Mile as Beauty Eternal leads Red Line half a length. Voyage Bubble 3rd, Vincent easing up 3 wide now on Golden 60. 2 lengths to Taj Dragon and Brave Emperor. Beauty Eternal is the leader, a length and a half Red Line. Golden 60, he needs to rally now. Voyage Bubbles on the inside. Beauty Eternal leads, he's 2 lengths over Red Line and Golden 60. Beauty Eternal, he's still in front. 2 Red Line, Voyage Bubble, Golden 60 will miss the place. Zach Purton's going to do it again, and he's outstripped them from the front in the Champions Mile. Beauty Eternal gets his moment of glory and beaten home Red Line and Voyage Bubble in a photo. Then came Golden 60. Next in Galaxy Patch, Beauty Joy, and then Taj Dragon, Elton Barrows, Brave Emperor, O Bamburamai and Champagne Colour. Beauty Eternal, Zach Purton and John Size, and Zach has undone them all again. They forgot about him. Red Lions run second. 12 and 2.7 the winner. Red Line at 4.3. Voyage Bubble the 2 at 1.4. And he has finally delivered. He promised so often. So often he'd been in the money in the Group 1s. And here he is on International Day leading off a super slow tempo, 134.52. And he dashed up the straight and he just did not look like getting beaten. It's that man Purton. 1.5 a neck, 134.52. There's a surreal feeling around Sharton because not only has the champion been beaten, he's missed the top 3, but they've all been outfoxed by a cagey man called Purton. Nick Child. Zachary has done it again.
Certainly has done it again, Mark, indeed. Zach, many congratulations. I'll let you walk on. Well done. That was a tactically astute ride that's won a Group 1 on a horse that you've always had faith in.
It was the only hope we had. There was no speed in the race, so just keep him walking. It gave us the opportunity to lead, and I just thought, the last thing I said to John was, I think this guy will like being on the fence because he's just got that tendency to hang in all the time. And he just got into a lovely rhythm, controlled the race. And I thought the only chance I had to beat Golden 60 was to try and put a gap on them and see how we went. And today was his day.
And Zach, he's a horse you've always had such a high opinion of, obviously. He's run some mighty races and very good races, but great for him to get that Group 1 today.
I've always felt like there was just a little bit more there, and he just wants to do so many things wrong in the straight in his races that he can't let down to his full potential, and today we've seen that on the rail.
He certainly did, and obviously for the people that own him, the Kwok family, massive supporters of not just yours but Hong Kong racing, of course, John Size, and great to see the black, white and pink.
Yeah, they're really good owners to ride for as well. They love their racing, they're involved, they spent a lot of money, so they deserve some success, and I'm just lucky that I'm a part of it. Obviously I've had some success in these colours in this race on this day, so it's nice to get another one for them.
It certainly is, Zach. A great occasion. Enjoy it. I'm sure you will, and many congratulations.
Thank you.
Beauty Eternity wins the Champions Mile. Beauty Generation in 2018 and 2019.
Golden 60 the favourite, they're racing. He was first out, Golden 60, and he jumped so well. Voyage Bubble to his inside. Red Lion began well, as did Beauty Eternal, and came Taj Dragon. Next is Brave Emperor from Elton Barrows and Galaxy Patch on the rail from O Bam Burumai. Second last is Beauty Joy and Champagne Colour as last of all. Beauty Eternal 3 off the rail leads. Golden 60s in the first 3. Voyage Bubbles down on the rail. Red Lion 4th, and then came Taj Dragon and Brave Emperor. 2 lengths to Elton Barrows from Galaxy Patch and O Bam Burumai. Second last is Beauty Joy and 2 lengths to Champagne Colour. It's Beauty Eternal leading, no speed on, and he's out by a length over Red Lion. Voyage Bubbles running 3rd, Golden 60 has 1 out cover 4th. Then Taj Dragon, Brave Emperor follows the champ. Next is Galaxy Patch from Elton Barrows, O Bamboo My Beauty Joy, and Champagne Colour is 3 lengths away last of all. It's a slowly run Champions Mile as Beauty Eternal leads Red Lion half a length. Voyage Bubble 3rd, Vincent easing up 3 wide now on Golden 60. 2 lengths to Taj Dragon and Brave Emperor. Beauty Eternal is the leader, a length and a half Red Line. Golden 60, he needs to rally now. Voyage Bubbles on the inside. Beauty Eternal leads, he's 2 lengths over Red Line and Golden 60. Beauty Eternal, he's still in front. 2 Red Line, Voyage Bubble, Golden 60 will miss a place. Zach Purton's going to do it again, and he's outstripped them from the front in the Champions.
Just perfectly rated off the front by Purton. Got across, he can be a bit keen in the early stages. Half the battle sometimes is just trying to get this horse to the start, but he's done it and done it oh so well today. 3:10.2 and 1, a length and a half by Nick, 134.52. The dividends to come up shortly, but Jenny, a terrific performance there.
Oh, unbelievable performance. What a great ride. Firstly, he jumped really well from gate 11. And Nick, you were at the barrier draw, and
Yeah.
Patrick Kwok, you spoke to, he wasn't happy.
And he said, how many times have they tried to beat Golden 60 and failed? I said, how do you do it? He said, pray. Well, he's had intervention from above, yes, in the shape of the rain this week. He's also had intervention from an inspired Purton.
Absolutely. And from gate 11, I mean, you know, when Patrick drew that number, he just almost fell off the stage, didn't he? He goes, well, I don't think I've got much of a chance now, but...
And contrasting fortunes for the 2 Kwok horses, because this horse from a wide gate managed to get to the lead. Beauty Joy from an inside gate, who you thought might ride a bit handier than normal, even though he comes with a late rattle, was way back and never had any chance at all. As for Golden 60, you know, if you say, well, he had him even further back than he might have done, why didn't he go to the lead? Well, he didn't even close off for second. I think it's a combination of the absence and the rain-softened ground. He's been beaten on yielding ground before. Have just blunted that turn of foot, Jenny. But the way Purton rode the winner, Golden 60 would have had to have been every bit as good as he's ever been to run him down.
At one point, it sort of looked like he might have been going to sort of let down towards the 200 metres, but he just wasn't able to pick up that late finishing burst that we've seen him trademark here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, and just wonder if that weather did sort of, as you talked about, the track just sort of blunted him a little bit, as you've talked about. So, look, he battled on for 4th, but he didn't look like the winner all the way down the straight. There was a lot of money for the winner. Beauty Eternal came in from 24s into 12, so plenty of support for him late.
That's now 8 straight Hong Kong wins in the Champions Mile. It's difficult to bring the overseas horses here and compete against the locals. It's just a locals race, isn't it? It's hard to win when you travel with horses here.
Yeah, it really is. It's harder still when you don't do what you said you were going to do, which is drive on and try and get a really handy position. And if he wasn't going to do that, if he was sitting behind Golden 60 and co, then there was no way he was going to get a look in. I thought Galaxy Patch ran an extraordinary race. Go back and watch that again. He didn't get the run of the race, didn't get the rub of the green, was back, and has actually run on, I think, Jenny, to finish 5th or 6th.
Yeah, he has.
He's one for next year, isn't he?
And the first 4 horses in running there, I mean, Zach was just controlling the speed.
各位來賓，富衛保險冠軍一哩賽頒獎儀式現在開始。
Ladies and gentlemen, the trophy presentation ceremony of the FWD Champions Mile will now commence.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together to congratulate Beauty Eternal representing Hong Kong, China, winning of the FWD Champions Mile. This is Beauty Eternal's first international Group 1 win. Congratulations! 富衛保險冠軍一哩賽嘅得主已經順利誕生，係由嚟自中國香港嘅永遠美麗贏得漂亮嘅一仗㗎。May we now invite the Honourable Yao Yinghua Algernon, JP Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development of the Government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region to present the main trophy and a gold-plated dish to Mr. Patrick Kwok, winning owner of Beauty Eternal. 呢個時候，我哋香港特別行政區政府商務及經濟發展局局長邱應華先生現正就係將富衛保險冠軍一哩賽嘅主杯同埋鍍金碟咧，就係頒發俾我哋勝出頭馬永遠美麗嘅馬主郭浩全先生㗎。好，我哋有請邱局長咧，就將鍍金碟咧就係頒發俾郭太代表接受嘅。So Mrs. Kwok is receiving the gold-plated dish. Thank you. Mr. Yao, please also continue to present the gold-plated dish to winning trainer John Size. 邱局長現正咧就將鍍金碟頒發俾我哋勝出馬匹嘅練馬師蔡約翰先生㗎。Congratulations! And lastly, Mr. Yao, please present the gold-plated dishes to our winning jockey Zach Burton. 而家邱局長咧就將鍍金碟頒發俾我哋勝出嘅騎師潘頓，恭喜晒，亦都唔該晒邱局長嘅。Thank you, Mr. Yao. May we now invite Professor Frederick Ma, Chairman Board of FWD Group, to present a souvenir trophy to our winning owner, Mr. Patrick Kwok. 呢個時候咧，我哋有請富衛集團董事會主席馬時亨教授咧，就將呢個紀念嘅銀杯賜送俾我哋勝出馬匹嘅馬主郭浩全先生。我哋有郭少明博士代表接受㗎。Thank you, Mr. Ma. May we now invite Mr. Hun Tyne Fong, OBE, Group Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director, FWD Group, to present a souvenir silver trophy to our winning trainer, Mr. John Size. 我哋有請富衛集團行政總裁兼執行董事黃清峰先生，將呢個紀念嘅銀杯賜送俾我哋勝出馬匹嘅練馬師蔡約翰先生㗎。And thank you so much, Mr. Hun. Lastly, may we invite Mr. Ken Lau, Managing Director of Greater China and Hong Kong, Chief Executive Officer of FWD Group, to present a souvenir silver trophy to our winning jockey, Zach Burton. 富衛集團大中華區常務董事兼香港嘅行政總裁柳志堅先生啱啱咧就將呢個紀念銀杯賜送俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅騎師潘頓先生㗎。Thank you also, Mr. Lau. Congratulations, all our winning connections. 恭喜晒 ！And I'd like to invite our guests to please look to the front at all our media friends here today for a group photo. 我哋望前方中間位置影張大合照。Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together once again to congratulate our winning horse today. What a fabulous win for Beauty Eternal. Please remain where you are. Now please stand and remove your hats for the national anthem of the winning country, Hong Kong, China. 跟住落嚟，我哋有請香港警察樂隊演奏勝出頭馬所代表國家中國香港嘅國歌。有請各位起立並隨舞。Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the trophy presentation. Congratulations once again to Beauty Eternal. The FWD QEII Cup will be held at race 8, so see you all again at the trophy presentation. 富衛保險冠軍一哩賽嘅頒獎儀式嚟到呢度已經係圓滿結束。提提大家，我哋第8場就係富衛保險冠軍女皇盃。第8場之後呢，我哋現場嘅熒光幕亦都會有冠軍賽快問快答嘅二維碼出現㗎。大家記得要等到第8場，千祈唔好錯過，可以贏取入馬房同金槍60近距離接觸嘅機會。我哋陣間頒獎禮再見。
There it is, the trophy presentation of the FWD Champions Mile. We can see the vision here from the start. So this time we're riding with Hugh Bowman and Red Lion with the jockey Cam, and away they go from the start. You can see in the early stages out wider, the pace coming from Beauty Eternal. Golden 60s right there, Voyage Bubble Red Lion not too far away. Taj Dragon towards the inside. Elton Barrows between runners. See Galaxy Patch on the inside's quite keen in the early stages. Brave Emperor next.
I think you're about to get a key view from the jockey cam, because this is where Vincent Ho just eases back a bit. He takes back. He doesn't want to take on Purton for the lead, and that'll be the debate now, as it has been each time Golden 60's been beaten. Has he been taken too far back? Should he have just sat on Zach Purton's girth, Jenny?
Yeah, look, you can see Red Lion, Hugh Bowman, just coming up to go alongside Beauty Eternal. And then Zach just gives him a little bit of rein, so he's not annoying him there, and he's just able to go along. He's just cruising along really nicely there. Now, Golden 60 is very much on the bridle, isn't he? He's pulling along a little bit there, and he's just covering a tiny little bit of ground. Of the rest, Voyage Bubble getting a nice run on the inside. He's also travelling nicely. Might we just say congratulations to John Size, first and second, with Red Lion as well.
Yeah, Red Lion's run a massive race. And as you said, his temperament plays into the hands of a good run in a race like this, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and that given the ground was good. But they also went forward on him. You can see J-Mac is getting stuck into Voyage Bubble there. There's not a great deal of room, so he may have been able to finish just marginally closer than that. But now there is, and Golden 60, well, he's just not going as well as we were hoping.
The amount of ground that he's actually lost inside the last half furlong in the second and third makes me think that no matter how Vincent had played this, he probably wouldn't have got by the winner.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Just the way he's sunk back there over the final stage. They have weighed in Nepal, 3:10, 2 and 1.
Yeah, 126.50, 27.43 and 14.50. Quinella places 3 and 10, 207.50, 2 and 3, 70.50, 2 and 10, 122.50. Of course, a John Size Quinella there as well. 3 to beat 10, 2,441. 1, 2, 3 and 10, 258 for the first four. And if you manage to get the quartet, 3, 10, 2, 1, 16,121. The doubles, pair of threes, 1,795. 3 into 10, 605. The sectional times, 24.78, standards 25, 23.25, standards 23.1, 23.89, standards 23.05, 22.6, standard 22.65. So the race time of 1:34.52 was outside the standard time of 1:33.8.
But a dramatic warrior, he's blowing kisses to the crowd, and he's going to win his second QE2. Massive Sovereign, he wins it. Massive Sovereign for Zach Purton, and Dinnership win the derby.
But Duboyana is drawing clear, and William Haggis has done it again. Duboyana by 3 lengths to Animo.
キシーガスが抜ける、そしてラードルフが2番に上がってきた。キシーガスゴールイン。
富衛保險女皇盃參賽馬匹
Runners of the FWD QE2 Cup.
One 號馬浪漫勇士
Number 1, Romantic Warrior.
2號馬譽滿杜拜
Number 2, Dubai Honor.
3號馬磅礴無比
Number 3, Hishiiguazu.
4號馬先見
Number 4, Prognosis.
5號馬直線力山
Number 5, Straight Arrow.
6號馬知足常樂
Number 6, Sword Point.
7號馬筋斗雲
Number 7, Nimble Nimbus.
8號馬標之五支
Number 8, 5G Patch.
9號馬北橋
Number 9, North Bridge.
10號馬越盡歡欣
Number 10, Happy Together.
11號馬大至尊
Number 11, Massive Sovereign.
I think the reign of all horses running here this week has played more in the favour of Dubai Honour than any other. He was third in this last year, behind Romantic Warrior and Prognosis. I think he can get a bit closer.
Let's start, Jenny, with Straight Aaron, who comes back from Dubai. Ran a pretty sound race over in Dubai as well for Casper Founds. Brendan Abdullah rode. It's Vincent Ho here. And that, of course, was in the Dubai turf. He was beaten 4.5 lengths there.
Yeah, look, he was. I'm not sure that he had too many excuses. He's a very talented horse on his day. He looks nice and relaxed here in the parade. His coat's good. He looks nice and fit. He does appear to be walking out freely as well. So I think he's come back in pretty good shape, actually. And he should be running on towards the end, no matter what happens here. He's not. He does look good. I'll consider him.
Look at this horse, Romantic Warrior. I mean, you could let a bomb off next to him. He's remarkable, Jenny.
Yeah, look, he is. He's a beautiful horse. You know, he's one of the ISGs. He's now a 6-year-old. He's done everything that he's been asked of and even travelled and won. And, I mean, you have to be a serious horse to win the Cox Plate. And he beat a serious horse in Mr. Brightside as well by a very short margin. So he's come back. He's won since that. You know, he just gives his all. I'm just heading to him now so I can get a better look at him. He's nice and strong and healthy. He's just behaving himself beautifully as per usual, and nothing wrong with his action either. He looks really well. In fact, he looks stronger than I've seen him.
One question he hasn't been asked is, will he handle a wet track?
Well, indeed, and this horse will. Dubai Honour. William Haggis and his team, Izzy Paul, the assistant trainer, they've got him here in really good shape. Tom Marquand knows him, has faith in him, trusts him. He's sometimes fallen just below the top level in Europe, but he's such a doughty traveller that he brings his game wherever he goes. And it might be a blessing in disguise that a small hiccup kept him away from that Australian campaign, because he comes here fresh and off a win back home at Kempton. Philip Robinson, legend in Hong Kong when he was running here in the 1980s and 90s. He was telling me yesterday, had so many people to see, didn't want to disappoint anybody. He representing the owner, Mohammed Abeda.
Look, he's looking good too. He's got a really muscled shoulder on him, and he's a compact, strong-bodied horse. He's walking out nice and freely. He's behaving himself well. So I would suggest that he's not going to disgrace, and he'll love the give in the ground. He looks good.
We know Ahishi Agwazu well, Jenny. He's a veteran soldier here in Hong Kong, but there must be a few doubts around the track conditions for him this afternoon.
He's a lovely horse, this guy. He's getting on a bit. He's now an 8-year-old, but he looks in fantastic order. He's walking out nice and freely still. He's fit and healthy, and he's keen and eager. I'm sure he's not going to disgrace the way he parades. He looks really well.
Here's the runner-up in the race last year, Prognosis. Yuga Kawada takes the ride. Coming into this week, I think there were fair reasons on form and the way he's been campaigned to think that he could get a good bit closer to Romantic Warrior, if not beat him. But again, I think conditions put a little bit of unknown there. How does he look, Jenny?
Yeah, he looks good. I was really quite taken by his most recent win in Japan. To look at, he's bandaged quite heavily on all 4 legs. He's not an overly big horse, a tall horse, but he's quite compact and well put together. Good muscle strength in the shoulder, just very slightly warm around the flank area and behind, but nice and eager and very fit looking. So he does look well.
We're going to 9, Jenny. Northbridge, who comes out of a race in Qatar where they went forward and then tried to stack them up, and then he got caught behind them, and wanted to over-race a bit. Things was a bit bizarre all round, I thought, really.
Yeah, look, he's just going out now, but I got a quick glimpse of him. He's a very strong-bodied horse. He's an entire, so he's got the big, thick neck on him and the solid hind quarters. Looks quite healthy, but I only got that glimpse, so that's all I can tell you about him.
His sword point, Derek Leung riding this horse by American Pharaoh. Looks well and was a good Grade 2 winner in Australia prior to coming here to Hong Kong. I think he's up against it at this level though, Jenny.
I do too. I just don't think he's going as well as he was, you know, a few months ago. So he really needs to turn that around. To look at, I mean, you can never knock him too much as far as appearance goes because he is a really nice type and he's always had a fantastic attitude. Really good muscle strength in the shoulder, very healthy, fluent and strong. So he actually presents well. I can't put the pen through.
Nimble Nimbus, Jenny's over 50 to 1 here, but he's gotten better with age, this horse. He just turns up and runs a good solid race at the elite level, Jenny.
He certainly does, and he's a horse that gets a little bit on edge here in the parade, as you can see for yourself. His jockey's just about jump on board, but he never disgraces. He looks as fit as he can be. He's maintained his overall strength. He's nice and healthy in his coat, and he's nowhere near as hot as I have seen him in the past, so he's pretty good, actually.
Here's 5G Patch. Brenton Abdullah taking the ride for the first time on 5G Patch. And Abdullah, Jenny, has had a magic touch on a number of the horses that he's got on since arriving here in Hong Kong.
He's been a great addition to the jockey ranks. There's no doubt about that. So I think Brenton is enjoying his opportunities at the moment. And I don't know whether or not he can get this horse home. 21 starts, but just the 2 wins, 5G Patch. But he's an athletic type. He looks quite healthy. He's a bit of a bit more lightly framed horse, but he's very fluent in his walking action. He is fit.
I think they'll be looking forward to the 2,400 metre race at the end of the month. Moving on to Happy Together now. Jenny, how's he parading? He's had a breakout season this season with Frankie Law.
Yeah, he's a very strong-bodied horse. He's got really good muscle strength in the shoulder. Just getting on his toes a little bit. They've bandaged him on his bumpers there. I like the hind quarters on him as well, just nicely enough on his toes. He doesn't parade badly, and he's a very honest type of racehorse. Whether or not he's good enough to take it out, I don't think so, but I could leave him on a place line the way he parades.
Well, here is Massive Sovereign, the Derby winner, Zach Purton, riding this horse 2 from 2 here in Hong Kong. On what he's done here so far, he's potentially a massive talent here. He was a slow burn for Aidan O'Brien, but Jenny, I'm so excited to see what he can achieve, particularly with a confidence-filled Purton in the plate.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, you mentioned how quiet Romantic Warrior is. Well, he would challenge him for that as well. He's a beautifully behaved horse. He's a really good type. He's really trimmed up too since those 2 runs since he's been here. He's just nice and tight and fit now. And he was doing it so well before when he was able to win the Derby too. You've got to like him. He's a really nice horse.
That's the parade for the FWD QE2 Cup. Let's head over to Nick Child, who's standing by with William Haggis.
Yes, thank you very much, Tom. Please say that William Haggis has very kindly joined me to chat about his run at Dubai Honour in this. William, your 3rd appearance here with this horse in Hong Kong, and I know this is one place you've always wanted to get that win. How happy are you with the horse today?
Yeah, I'm pleased with his condition. I'm pleased with the rain. I just hope it upsets the Japanese and the locals.
How big a factor is that? I mean, we know he's got some very good form. I mean, his win, thinking back to his win in Longchamp a couple of seasons ago, was obviously very impressive. Is that key to him, do you think?
Well, I think he doesn't mind cutting the ground, but I don't think it's that bad. I think it's soft on top and pretty firm underneath. So if it's a bit loose, hopefully it'll upset the locals, as I say, and we'll be able to handle it, hopefully.
He's had a slightly different preparation this time, no Australia. He returned to Kempton with a nice prep for this, so a slightly different way into this race. But are you happy that he's as good as ever?
Yeah, I think he's in really good form. I was pleased with him at Kempton, and the 2nd horse won a Group 3 on Friday night at Sandown. So I think the form's pretty good, and we won him the race easily. So I hope he's in good shape, but he's going to need to be in his best form to win.
Izzy Paul's been here with him, your assistant trainer. Obviously, she's been here before. All the reports have been good. I mean, he's looked great at track work.
Yeah, she's been very happy with him. She knows him well. She was in Australia with him last year. So, you know, when I come, all I do is interfere. So I leave it to her.
And William, just finally, you've gone on record as saying this is somewhere you've wanted to have a winner. Apart from the obvious, I'm sure, the excellent prize money, the status. What is it about Hong Kong that sort of, you know, drives you on to want to have that winner here?
Well, it's fantastic racing, and as you say, apart from the obvious, it's just very competitive, and it would be something personally I'd like to tick off. We've won a few races in a few different countries, and this is one we have failed, so we'd like to put that right someday.
Let's hope you do today. Thanks for chatting to us and best of luck.
My pleasure, thanks.
With thanks there to William Haggis speaking with Nick Childs. Numbers from the paddock, Jenny, for the FWD QE2 Cup.
All right, I'm going to go with the new kid on the block in number 11, Massive Sovereign. I thought he paraded beautifully here this afternoon. He has paraded pretty well on each occasion, but he's just looking even fitter here this afternoon. So I've got him on top of Romantic Warrior, who's going to be very, very hard to beat. He looks terrific, and he's just got the score on the board. Next best, I thought, was the 3, the Japanese horse, or one of the Japanese horses in Ishi Aguazu. He's performed well here in the past, and he just looks really fit and well. He's a lovely athletic horse. And then I thought number 2 was next best. That's Dubai Honor, the William Haggis horse. I thought I like his strength. He was well behaved in the parade. He looks great in his coat too. So in order for me from the parade, I've gone 11, 1, 3 and 2.
11, 1, 3 and 2. Upstairs to you, Mark, for your thoughts here a couple of minutes out from the QE2 Cup.
Got that horse in, Tom. There is a massive support crew here again for Massive Sovereign. They've got an even bigger flag than what they had on Derby Day. It's taking up a small section of the bay down there. Anyway, Romantic Warrior, star, champion, so hard to beat. Loves Shah 10. It's taken Golden 60 to roll him here twice. And Russian Emperor over 2,400 metres, but comes to 2,000 metres. He's nigh on unbeatable. One on top to beat number 11, Massive Sovereign. If he looms up, you'll hear them downstairs. 4 Prognosis goes in for Japan, and 2 Dubai Honor. Another one of the visitors we just heard from William Haggis. 1, 11, 4 and 2. Paul can't go past the toppy.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty similar to you there with the one on top, not outside the square. And this one, I think Romantic Warrior can win. Prognosis, same Quinella as last year, is the biggest danger. The 11, Massive Sovereign, the new kid on the block. And then the British rated here, which is Dubai Honor with the wet track. 1, 4, 11 and 2 for me.
1, 11, 4 and 2. Romantic Warrior, Massive Sovereign. I think Prognosis has a big chance here, and to Dubai Honor. Those are my numbers, Jenny.
Yeah, look, I've gone with the 11. The 11 on top. That's Massive Sovereign. I thought he paraded really, really nicely, as I said. And the 1, Romantic Warrior. Well, he's the champ. He's the one to beat. There's no doubt about that. He looks terrific as per usual. Next best is the 3 horse, Ishi Aguazu. I thought he paraded really nicely. He looks so fit and healthy. And then the 2, Dubai Honor, very strong, muscly type of horse. Won't mind this give in the ground, so he might be able to acquit himself well here. 11, 1, 3 and 2 for me, Nick. What did you fancy?
Well, at these odds, Jenny, you're going to have to play Dubai Honor. Number 19 at the moment on the board, and 4.2 the place as well. He's such an honest, consistent horse. He's been here a couple of times before, run well. I think at those odds, well, he's just gone 16, and I can see why. Obviously, Romantic Warrior is going to run well. The bottom, Massive Sovereign, all the value's gone, squeezed out, could be a massive talent. And the silly one at a huge price that I thought might run okay was Nimble Nimbus, because there's no ground worries, and Andrea Razzani seems to have got another 7 or 8 pounds out of him this season.
Look, he has been so honest, hasn't he? He hasn't won at the big level yet, but you never know what might happen here.
He has been close up. Paul, what's the strategy as they're not too far away from moving in?
Yeah, around the favourites here, 1, 4 and 11. So the 2 locals with Prognosis for Japan. But look, he's drifted out to 9.3 Prognosis, so he's getting to a real good price at this stage. As Romantic Warrior comes in, he's into 1.8. Massive Sovereign's been pretty steady there at 3.3. 16, the next one, which is Dubai Honor, just coming a little point. 17, Straight Aaron's not far away from him, and Ishi Aguasu's just come in from 20 to 18. The play there, 1, 4 and 11.
There doesn't look to be a lot of pace in this race, and the way the track has been running today, and you've got Massive Sovereign drawn on the inside there. He's best ridden cold from what we've seen, but can they change that at all today?
Big ask for also inexperienced, but as Jenny was talking about Massive Sovereign's demeanour in the paddock, if you've ever been to Ballydoyle and watched Aidan O'Brien condition these young horses, it's not a surprise. They don't put a hair out of place.
Yeah.
They are very well schooled, very well drilled from a very early age. And that street wisdom is going to stand him in good stead and belie his inexperience potentially. But can he go forward and be right on the sharp end? I don't know. I feel Dubai Honor's Tom Marquand has got to try and take the bull by the horns here. I feel that's his only play.
He's drawn barrier number 9 here to try and fire across. Prognosis, some Japanese media was sort of suggesting that he was a bit disappointing here in December, so they might have had high hopes for him, but he's one of those types of horses that just wants a good, solid, fast, not stop-start tempo, doesn't he?
Yeah, and is he going to get that with the way the track's playing and with the absence of an obvious contested pace? I suspect he won't. I think at the beginning of the week, everyone was all about prognosis. You got to the end of the week, seen how the track's riding today, people aren't quite so sure.
And the other thing about him is he can be slow out of the gates. So if he's on the back foot for starters, it's going to make it very tough for him here.
You get the feeling, Paul, that Connections would like to have him a bit closer in the run, but that just sometimes with him, it's just not possible.
No, it's just it's all about the jump. He's drawn 5, so there's the option there if he does jump, but to get it close. The other one that does like to race on the pace, and I think he's going to get a good run, and he's a massive price, is Northbridge, the other Japanese from Barrier 3. He's at 81, but there is place money from now. He's into 14 a place.
Well, he's probably a better rolling type of horse as well, because he wanted to over-race and fire up last time in Qatar, didn't he?
It's the kind of day where you could make a case for anything finishing in the frame. I just didn't think he was good enough. Interestingly, though, Sire Maurice won the... But if you thought today's ride from Zach was good on Beauty Eternal, go back and have a look at William Buick in the Shima Classic. Grand larceny, to coin Tom Durkin's great phrase that day.
Absolutely. He's not, I don't think he's up to these, Jenny, is Sword Point, but he's got a little bit of form on Rain Effective going.
Yeah, look, I've probably been a bit disappointed with him of late because I was expecting him just to continue to progress, and it just sort of stopped. But, that happened with Beauty Eternal as well, and look what he did today.
Derek Long riding for Frankie Law. They're getting set for the third and final Group 1 here this afternoon at Sharton. It's 1.8 about Romantic Warrior down in front of the stands here at Sharton. The 2,000 metres with race caller Mark McNamara.
Thank you, Tom. There's a lot of green on the place line here. Dubai on a 3.7, a Prognosis 2 a place, the 7 Nimble Nimbus 4.3 and the 9. Northbridge backed into 13 on a place line. Romantic Warrior's gone forward. He's at 1.8, 1.2, looking for his third in a row. The horse to win it before him was the mighty Japanese mare, Loves Only You, Her Farewell. One out, Straight Aaron to complete the line. Romantic Warrior's now 1.7. Derby winner drawn 2. Purton looking for a Group 1 double. And they're racing. Prognosis missed it by 3 lengths. Northbridge speeding out from barrier number 3. Sword Point happy together. Romantic Warrior is going to be wide from his draw into the first turn, and Nimble Nimbus is going to be wider. Ishiaguazu's down on the fence from Massive Sovereign, and then came Straight Aaron. Dubai Honours wide. Second last is 5G Patch, and Prognosis is 3 lengths away last of all. Northbridge is the leader. Half a length over the 3 wide Nimble Nimbus, and Sword Point running third. Romantic Warrior. He's going to be left in the open now, 3 wide Romantic Warrior, because Nimble Nimbus has gone up outside the leader. McDonald's looking to slot in somewhere. Ishiaguazu's gone ahead of them, and Romantic Warrior got in on the back of Sword Point. He's just too good, McDonald. On the rail is happy together. Then came Dubai Honour. Prognosis loops them 3 wide from Massive Sovereign, Straight Aaron and 5G Patch a length away last of all. Northbridge halfway in the QE2, 1,000 to run, leads a length and a half Nimble Nimbus. Sword Point next, and then came Ishiaguazu. 3 wide Prognosis 5th from Happy Together. Romantic Warrior 3 wide again following Prognosis. Then Dubai Honour, Massive Sovereign, and the other pair are 3 lengths away. Straight Aaron and also 5G Patch. Northbridge looking for an all of the way win. Gets to the 600 metre mark. He's 3/4 Nimble Nimbus. 3 wide Sword Point. 4 wide Prognosis. Then Ishiaguazu. Romantic Warrior ridden up to follow Prognosis. Dubai on next from Massive Sovereign looking for inside runs. Northbridge the leader. 3 Ishiaguazu Prognosis. Here he comes. Romantic Warrior's wider out. Northbridge still leads it. Romantic Warrior, he's outside the 4. Prognosis still there with Ishiaguazu. It's Romantic Warrior versus Japan. The 4 Japanese with him. He's in front, the Warrior of Prognosis. What a ride, what a horse, and he wins it again. Romantic Warrior beat Prognosis, Northbridge and Happy Together. Then 5G Patch, Dubai Honour. Ishiaguazu next in, followed across by Massive Sovereign, Nimble Nimbus. And the last 2, Straight Aaron and Sword Point. You tip your cap to James McDonald. You tip it to Denny Shum. You tip it to this horse. Romantic Warrior, 1.9 and 1.1. He was 5 wide around the last turn and he wasn't going too far. Prognosis has gone an enormous race in defeat. Northbridge, at any old price, has run third, Happy Together fourth. But this horse is just the best. He's won overseas. He's won here. He was 3 wide early. Yep, that says it all. A shake of the head. What a dude. And the man on his back's not a bad dude either. James McDonald somehow managed to shove in to get some cover going into the back straight. And then he has just lifted. He had to take on Japan. All 4 of them were there. And he has lifted him down the straight to win. What an animal. 3 QE2 Cups in a row. And that one as good as any of them. Here is Nick Child. He's always got something to offer, James McDonald. I'm sure today will be no different, Nick.
Oh, I'm sure he's got plenty to offer. James McDonald, how about that?
Just can't believe this horse. I've got no words for him, eh? He brings a tear to my eye how good he is. And
James, that they came...
I haven't even one like it.
No. They came there to challenge you, the might of Japan, what they sent over to try and beat this horse, but he's now won 3 of these, 2 for you. I mean, just try and sum it up for us, put it into words. I mean, it does leave us all speechless, and notably you.
Mate. I actually don't know. He was beaten at the 600. He just finds a way. It's incredible. I dead set didn't have one thing go my way. I had 10 riders dead set against me and the horse, and I just had no favours at all, and he's pulled out a run like that. Incredible.
He is an incredible horse.
He is incredible.
Did you, I mean, at any stage of the race, was there at any moment, I mean, it was a messy race, you were caught wide, so it was never ideal.
There wasn't one part of the race I was happy with,
really?
To be honest with you. First time going out, I was deep, but I was in a rhythm, but not in a good spot. 1,000 from home, I was finally having a rest, and one took off, and yes!
There you go, that's more like it,
And then at the 600, he's off the bridle, just struggling in the ground a tad, and he just picks up. I'm just in disbelief.
I can quite believe it. Listen, enjoy the moment, James. Well done, and well done you and he.
Thank you.
A somewhat speechless James McDonald after the FWD QE2 Cup with Romantic Warrior. He was flat as anything at the 600 metres. He has pulled it out of the fire here to win
for a Group 1 double. And they're racing. Prognosis missed it by 3 lengths. Northbridge speeding out from barrier number 3. Sword Point Happy Together. Romantic Warrior is going to be wide from his draw into the first turn, and Nimble Nimbus is going to be wider. Ishiaguazu's down on the fence from Massive Sovereign, and then came straight Aaron Dubayona's wide. Second last is 5G Patch, and Prognosis is 3 lengths away last of all. Northbridge is the leader. Half a length over the 3 wide Nimble Nimbus, and Sword Point running third, Romantic Warrior. He's going to be left in the open now, 3 wide Romantic Warrior, because Nimble Nimbus has gone up outside the leader. McDonald's looking to slot in somewhere. Ishiaguazu's gone ahead of them, and Romantic Warrior got in on the back of Sword Point. He's just too good, McDonald. On the rail is Happy Together. Then came Dubayona. Prognosis loops them 3 wide from Massive Sovereign, Straight Aaron and 5G Patch a length away last of all. Northbridge halfway in the QE2, 1,000 to run, leads a length and a half Nimble Nimbus. Sword Point next, and then came Ishiaguazu. 3 wide Prognosis 5th from Happy Together. Romantic Warrior 3 wide again following Prognosis. Then Dubayona, Massive Sovereign, and the other pair are 3 lengths away. Straight Aaron and also 5G Patch. Northbridge looking for an all of the way win. Gets to the 600 metre mark. He's 3/4 Nimble Nimbus. 3 wide Sword Point. 4 wide Prognosis. Then Ishiaguazu. Romantic Warrior ridden up to follow Prognosis. Dubayon next from Massive Sovereign looking for inside runs. Northbridge the leader. 3 Ishiaguazu Prognosis. Here he comes. Romantic Warrior's wider out. Northbridge still leads it. Romantic Warrior, he's outside the 4. Prognosis still there with Ishiaguazu. It's Romantic Warrior versus Japan. The 4 Japanese with him. He's in front, the Warrior of Prognosis. What a ride, what a horse, and he wins it again. Romantic Warrior beat Prognosis.
Just unbelievable all round there from Romantic Warrior and Prognosis as well. That was some race, Nick.
A frenetic edition of the QE2 Cup. James McDonald, who's ridden at the top level, every major racing nation in the world, and has succeeded. He's in awe of this horse. And you think of those great horses down the years who are talented, yes, but find a way to win and win ugly when things have gone against them. Horses like Tisnau, horses like Giant's Causeway. He's in that mould. He is in that mould, Romantic Warrior, and he's done it outside Hong Kong as well. And it's Japan next. He goes to the Yasuda Kinnan in the summer. That's a big roll of the dice again from Peter Lau, the owner, but full marks to them.
Oh, absolutely. Well done to James McDonald. As he said, nothing really went his way, but he still managed to get the job done once again. And the second horse, what an enormous run from him. Prognosis. Oh, my gosh.
He missed the break by 5-6 lengths, Prognosis, as you suggested he might, Jenny, but I didn't think we thought he'd do it that badly.
No, it was bad. And then he did a mid-race move, and then he was caught wide.
Wild mid-race move from Yuga Kawada.
So he has run an absolute ripping race there to be defeated by this champ, Romantic Warrior. And James has no words for this horse, and I think the horse does all the talking anyway.
Yeah, and interesting, he's such a heavy favourite. Everybody's looking at him, and James pretty much intimating that there were about 10 other jockeys trying to ride Romantic Warrior in that race as well.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable all round. Of course, came through the international sale here, Paul, and it's win number 96 for the Kiwi, James McDonald, in terms of Group 1 victories around the world. And what a horse race that was in the end.
Oh, unbelievable. And as you guys have touched on, the first two were just enormous runs, both first and second. And take nothing away from the third horse, Northbridge, because, he led and he was over 100 to 1, and he stayed on nicely for third. Happy Together running well in a race of his life in fourth. 19 and 11.50, 16.50 for second, 151 for third. Quinella 1 and 4, 47.50. The forecast 78, the TS 149, 3,517, and the trio 1,382. But what a horse race that was.
Yeah, it certainly was. James McDonald heading back to weigh in. Do by honour, missed the kick a bit. Disappointing,
Didn't get the position I don't think Tom Marquand wanted. Looked great in the paddock, I thought. Just before they went into the stalls, he was a bit mulish going forward into the gate. He just never really looked happy.
Yeah, look, I think he's finished in 5th position, so he's picked up a prize money check, and he's acquitted himself okay there. But not good enough today. Nothing was going to beat those first or second horses there.
Probably another one of the stories, the biggest stories to come out of the races, the Derby winner, Massive Sovereign. He was back on the fence. There was some interference somewhere at about the 1400 between him and Straight Aaron, also sort of got tangled up there, and they've both finished well back. So he
位來賓，富衛保險女皇盃頒獎儀式現在開始。
Ladies and gentlemen, the trophy presentation ceremony of the FWD QEII Cup will now commence.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 FWD QEII Cup, one of the world's premier 2,000-meter turf races, has concluded on a high note. Today we saw a truly spectacular performance from high-caliber horses competing for Group 1 glory. Put your hands together to congratulate our winning horse, Romantic Warrior, representing Hong Kong, China, winning the FWD QEII Cup. Romantic Warrior is the first horse in history to win the FWD QEII Cup 3 times。俾啲掌聲好唔好啊？2024年度富衛保險女皇盃已經名花有主，係由嚟自中國香港嘅浪漫勇士勝出㗎，亦都係浪漫勇士你第3次奪得女皇盃嘅殊榮啊！恭喜晒！ May we now invite the Honourable Michael Wong Wailan, Deputy Financial Secretary of the Government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, to present the FWD QEII Cup and a bronze horse statuette to Mr. Peter Lau Pak Fai, winning owner of Romantic Warrior。而家我哋香港特別行政區政府財政司副司長黃偉倫先生現正將富衛保險女皇盃以及駿馬銅像頒發俾我哋勝出頭馬浪漫勇士嘅馬主劉柏輝先生㗎。咁我哋有請唐小姐咧代表接受呢個駿馬銅像嘅，恭喜晒！ Mr. Wong, please also present the bronze horse statuette to our winning trainer, Danny Shum。我哋有請副司長就係將駿馬銅像頒發俾我哋勝出馬匹嘅練馬師沈集成先生，恭喜晒！ And lastly, may Mr. Wong also present a bronze horse statuette to our winning jockey, James McDonald。副司長亦都現正咧將駿馬銅像頒發俾我哋勝出馬匹嘅騎師麥道朗㗎。Thank you so much, Mr. Wong. May we now invite Professor Frederick Ma, Chairman Board of FWD Group, to present a souvenir silver trophy to the winning owner, Mr. Peter Lau Pak Fai. And we have an owner representative to receive this souvenir on his behalf. Thank you so much. 富衛集團董事會主席馬時亨教授啱啱咧就將我哋嘅紀念銀杯致送咗俾我哋勝出馬匹嘅馬主劉柏輝先生嘅代表㗎。Thank you, Mr. Ma. May we now invite Mr. Hun Tan Fong, OBE Group Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director, FWD Group, to present a souvenir silver trophy to winning trainer Danny Shum。富衛集團行政總裁兼執行董事黃清峰先生現正將紀念銀杯致送俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅練馬師沈集成先生。Thank you, Mr. Hun. And lastly, may we now invite Mr. Ken Lau, Managing Director of Greater China and Hong Kong Chief Executive Officer of FWD Group, to present a souvenir silver trophy to winning jockey James McDonald。富衛集團大中華區常務董事兼香港行政總裁柳志堅先生咧，現正將紀念銀杯咧，啱啱就致送咗俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅騎師麥道朗先生嘅。Thank you, Mr. Lau. Let's invite all our guests to remain on stage for a photo together。我哋有請我哋今日咁多位台上嘅嘉賓影張大合照。我哋望一望前方位置 ，right in the middle at all our media friends and all our racing enthusiasts here at Sha Tin Racecourse。俾啲熱烈嘅掌聲好冇 ？Please remain where you are and please stand and remove your hats for the national anthem of a winning country, Hong Kong, China。跟住落嚟，我哋有請香港警察樂隊演奏勝出頭馬所代表國家中國香港嘅國歌，有請各位起立並隨舞。 This is the end of the trophy presentation. Congratulations once again to the owner, trainer and jockey of winning horse Romantic Warrior and the Hong Kong team for winning 3 of our Group 1 races today. 多謝晒咁多位，我哋富衛保險女皇盃2024頒獎典禮已經圓滿結束，喺度再次恭喜晒浪漫勇士嘅馬主練馬師同埋騎師，同埋恭喜晒我哋港隊，因為今日我哋3場嘅1級賽事呢，都係我哋港隊勝出㗎，恭喜晒！好啦，觀眾朋友，事不宜遲啦，相信大家咧都記得啦，我哋係準備咗一個特別嘅環節㗎，就係我哋今日冠軍賽快問快答嘅活動啊！大家係咪準備好啦？大家要留意住我哋嘅大屏幕，見唔見到？而家我哋係有個二維碼係出現咗呢。咁我哋而家就正式開始啦。只要你哋係答啱今日第5場、第7場同埋第8場勝出馬匹嘅名啦。我哋嘅頭30位幸運觀眾，我哋工作人員就會喺1個鐘頭內打電話俾你，通知你今日馬上係可以去到沙田馬場第2座看台2樓平台嘅廣場處換領呢個金槍60馬房參觀嘅通行券㗎。大家記得踴躍參加，同埋記得咧留意你嘅電話啦，因為錯過咗3次咧就錯失咗你哋嘅機會㗎啦。我哋嘅 QR code 即係呢個二維碼呢，亦都會繼續喺我哋投注大堂嘅電視機中出現嘅，所以大家要把握時間，希望呢就可以入到馬房參觀下我哋金槍60我哋嘅馬王啊！恭喜晒今次我哋所有嘅馬匹、馬主、練馬師同埋騎師，多謝晒各位馬迷，我哋下一年嘅冠軍賽馬日再見 ，See you next year. Thank you so much.
Prize money just continues to go higher and higher.
Let's take you through the patrol here. It's going to be fascinating. Prognosis is the one we're riding with here, who's missed the start. So this will be a
Good
terrific
call from our friends at Jockey Cam.
This will be a terrific jockey cam here. He's back last. He's given them a start. Northbridge gone forward here with the sword point. Round the outside comes Nimble Nimbus. Romantic Warrior 3 wide at this point. Dubai Honour 3 wide. Nick and Prognosis chasing them along at the back, but we'll probably see the interference here as well into the back straight. Massive Sovereign and also up on the outside straight arrow, and then we're going to see Prognosis whip around the outside at a rate of knots.
Yeah, and at this point it didn't seem as though Yuga Kawada was in any hurry, and then it was a combination of him just asking Prognosis to take a little closer order and Prognosis really grabbing hold, and he suddenly finds himself in front of Romantic Warrior.
Look, I thought just looking at that, maybe a Massive Sovereign just got onto the heels slightly of Happy Together, and that just sort of a bit of a concertina effect onto Straight Aaron as well. So it's just a little bit of interference there.
And it's to Romantic Warrior's great credit that when Prognosis rushed up to the outside of him, he didn't grab hold and get keen all of a sudden, because that's what a pro he is.
Absolutely, yes. And as James said, now he's sort of stuck there. He's got a bit of cover at the moment, but that horse just came up to him, tried to put a bit of pressure on him. And the horse didn't panic. He didn't want to, he didn't get on the bit and make it difficult for James. But he said he was gone at the 600. He didn't think he was travelling well. And then all of a sudden he found something again.
Yeah, well, Kawada probably thought, yeah, I'll slide up on the outside of these, but he wouldn't have encountered or been too keen on Sword Point coming out and flushing him out 3 and 4 wide as well.
And James was angling maybe to dive down inside, but he couldn't. There was no room at the inn there. He's had to barrel down wide. I'm not sure it's the best part of the track either, Jenny.
No, and you could see that he was sort of hard riding him there prior to the turn. The horse was actually going nowhere, but once he got round that turn, he's really picked up very, very strongly. And when asked, he's produced. Now have a look at the second horse as well, Prognosis. What a mighty performance that was too.
Yeah, they're down inside the last 50 metres there. He's battled on game. So too is Northbridge. What a storming run from him. Hishi Aguazu's boxed on well again. Nimble Nimbus had that tough run. He's dropped out of it along with Sword Point and Straight Aaron.
Any sectional data, any GPS data will tell you that Prognosis has run an absurd race and should be marked up by lengths, but ultimately, if you get up against Romantic Warrior in a tight finish, it doesn't matter what's gone before, you're going to get beaten.
Yeah, it just shows his great determination to win, doesn't it? He doesn't win by big margins, but he always gets the job done.
They've Wade and Paul following the QE2 Cup.
Yeah, good other places, 1 and 4, 21.50, 1 and 9, 258, 4 and 9, 520. Forecast, 1 to beat 4, returned you 78. The first 4, 1, 4, 9 and 10, 8,009.